What's going on? Happy Wednesday evening. 49ers practice week begins tomorrow. Thanks for waiting. If you were in the lobby there for a little bit, we're ready to go at our 49ers Cardinals first look. Arizona has not been a good team this year. I know they're coming off a win against the Rams, but that was a backup QB win on both sides of the ball. Probably not all too much that you can be able to draw from that game. But thankfully, I've watched all of Arizona's games so far this year. I have a cursory overview of what they're good at. It's not too much this year. They got a couple strong points, though, on the team, and obviously what they're bad at. Now, this is a divisional game for the 49ers, so sometimes you could toss a lot of this stuff out the window because if you don't show up to play, well, then all of a sudden your advantages are neutralized. But the 49ers will have a big advantage in that they'll have the crowd on their side at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. 82% of fans are expected to be 49ers fans at this game on Monday night. Anyway, Arizona, DVOA ranks number 28 offense, number 21 defense. The defense has regressed since last season, but the offense has regressed even more, and number 22 special team. So this is a bottom quartile team, we'll put it that way, for Arizona this season. Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury haven't exactly been getting along after the big extension. Budda Baker's out there imploring his teammates in the locker room to play better, to put a little bit more into it. It's ugly for the Cardinals right now. It got a little bit better with a win over a depleted Rams team. But are they ready to beat the 49ers? Vegas thinks no. Right now, the spread is at 8.5 points and growing in the 49ers' favor. We are waiting to see what the quarterback situation for the Cardinals will be. Kyler Murray or Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy hurt his knee backing up Kyler Murray last week in LA. Kyler Murray's dealing with a hamstring strain, and we know that those can be tricky and that those can linger. Both are ruled day-to-day right now. Trace McSorley is the third-string quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. If by some crazy occurrence, neither of the two guys on the screen can go for them in this game. Now, remember, the last time the 49ers faced the Cardinals, it was Colt McCoy who was the quarterback because Kyler Murray was hurt. And I believe it was a hamstring last year. It was a bad hamstring strain for Kyler Murray. A lot of people, myself included, thought the 49ers would have not much trouble with Colt McCoy. The problem is, though, the 49ers couldn't tackle in the defensive backfield. They couldn't cover in the defensive backfield. And the pass rush wasn't quite in roaring form yet when they faced the Cardinals in week 9. And the Fighting Colt McCoys got the 49ers at Levi Stadium. They dropped 31 points on them. Big difference between then and now is that Eno Benjamin, the Arizona running back who just totally steamrolled Drake Kirkpatrick, that was an advantage, obviously, that the Cardinals had. The 49ers corners couldn't tackle. Well, neither of those two characters will be involved in this game because Arizona actually just released Eno Benjamin, and the 49ers have way upgraded past Drake Kirkpatrick. And that is an overarching truth of this game. The 49ers secondary is way better than it was last year when it lost to Colt McCoy and the Cardinals. Charvarius Ward, in fact, is the top graded defensive back against the run in the entire National Football League. He hasn't missed a single tackle this season in run support, and that, or even after the catch, which is big against an Arizona team that's going to spread it out with Cliff Kingsbury's offense. So the 49ers should be better equipped to deal with whoever's a quarterback. It could be Kyler Murray. It could be Colt McCoy. The 49ers have the personnel on the back end, I think, to tackle and to compete in space and give themselves a fighting chance on the offensive end this time around. They certainly didn't last year at this time. But Arizona does have some offensive weapons. You cannot discount the fact that they can spread it out. They can compromise your defense if you don't play sound football. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins, obviously Rondale Moore, AJ Green. I mean, these are all good wide receivers, and obviously the Cardinals have lost Zach Ertz, their tight end, for the season this past week with the knee injury, so they're a little bit shorthanded there. But the thing about this opponent is its strength in numbers in the pass game, right? They like to spread it out, air raid style offense, and the 49ers are going to have to be ready for a number of different weapons to attack them. Again, the good news is I think the 49ers have a better set of personnel than they did last year when they played the Cardinals in that Week 9 game. On the defensive side of the ball, the Cardinals are ordinary. I would say mediocre. I put that up there right here. Number 21 defense, DVOA, run and pass defense, both equally unspectacular. But Zach Allen, big defensive end, has been getting after passers this year. He can rush the passer, and then we know about J.J. Watt, who obviously is past his prime. But the combination of Zach Allen and J.J. Watt can do some trouble on the defensive line for Arizona. So the 49ers have to be balanced offensively to make sure that they keep those guys neutralized in this game. Obviously, Budda Baker is that chess piece that the Cardinals like to use around the back end. He can create trouble, but you can also beat Budda Baker. We saw George Kittle stiff arm him into oblivion in 2019. So if the 49ers are playing this game downhill, guys like Budda Baker, guys like Isaiah Simmons, remember Raheem Mostert running the angle route against Isaiah Simmons in 2020 for the 80-yard touchdown. Those are all players that can be neutralized. So that's the first look at 49ers Cardinals. Why don't I open this up to some questions? We'll talk a little bit. We'll maybe pop open the roster, which I have right here on the screen for you. And we'll have a fun little Wednesday evening show. How's everybody doing, by the way? I hope you guys are doing good. Doing well, maybe would be the better English in this case. Yeah, but I think Budda is playing through a little bit of something. Am I coming on the Pat McAfee show again? At some point soon. I would assume that I am. That's always a fun show to be on. What happened to Davis Price? Davis Price is buried on the depth chart right now, which I have on the screen in front of you. So Ty Davis Price right here. In front of Ty Davis Price, there is now Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, and maybe even Jordan Mason. The thing is, we don't get that deep into the rotation anymore. Tevin Coleman's also in the building because these two guys are stars. These two guys are studs. I mean, you have a star and a stud right here. Christian McCaffrey's a star. Elijah Mitchell's working on it, getting in that direction. Yeah, Budda Baker did injure George Kittle in the same game. A little Garoppolo threw it high. That was in 2020. I'm trying to remember. Kittle might have gotten hurt in 2019. You're right, because he scored the touchdown, and then I didn't know that was Budda Baker that hit him though. But then there was also the play in 2020 when Kittle did hurt his knee. There was a higher throw there on the screen pass. Godzilla wants to see more Dwelly. Problem with Dwelly is that I believe that Tyler Kroft is a little bit higher on the pecking order. In fact, I could probably switch that right here on this depth chart. I believe that Tyler Kroft, now that the veteran is back, is higher on the pecking order than Charlie Werner. Dwelly had the long catch against the Rams. That was cool, but it's Kittle and Kroft, two Ks there, and then Werner and Dwelly a little bit behind them. I think that's the way that it's working out for the 49ers now. Can Alfredo Gutierrez get a curtain call at least this week? We will see. I hope so. That'd be really cool. Big article on Alfredo Gutierrez coming out tomorrow, and the NFL in Mexico. Matt Barrows and I co-wrote it, so be sure to be ready for that. You can make sure that you subscribe to The Athletic. I was curious to see how many of you would be in here a little bit later at night. 9:11 p.m. right now on the West Coast. Not all too many. Not as crowded as it has been in some of these weeknight shows, but I get it. The 49ers are coming off a win that wasn't all too inspiring to a lot of people. Sometimes kind of the moods ebb and flow depending on the excitement level of the game the past Sunday. And I came on live a couple hours ago, a little bit earlier, and there definitely were more people present at that time. All right, I'm going to go through some more questions, though. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, thank you for the analysis. I appreciate that. Am I ready for some tacos? Yes. And if there's any specific place I need to go in that city of 22 million, please send it my way. I cannot wait to go to Mexico City. I think this is going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun. Again, it's the third or fourth largest city in the world by metro area. 22 million dwarfs everything in the U.S. There's going to be traffic. There's going to be smog. There's going to be good food. I just love a nice hustling and bustling city And then obviously the stadium fits a lot of people. It's an iconic stadium, Estadio Azteca, built and opened in time for the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. It's going to be good stuff. 49ers are going to be playing at a historical venue. 82% 49ers fans predicted. That's going to be wild too. I'll get a lot of good videos. So like this video, sub to the channel. Make sure that you are part of all of this as the content is going to be pouring in from Mexico City. Is David going to Mexico? The answer is yes. Would not miss this one. 22 million people. That's a lot of people. It's the size of a decent country in Europe. I mean, the big ones like France and Germany obviously are bigger than that. But the Czech Republic, I'm a dual citizen of here and there, they only have 10 million people. So Mexico City, just as a city, has over twice as many people as an entire country that I'm familiar with in Europe. Any chance that Greenlaw gets disciplined for the hit on Herbert? I don't think he gets suspended for the hit on Herbert, but the fines are going to come down on Saturday. And we've seen the NFL like to double down in cases like this to say, oh, yeah, we meant it. We were right. So I think it's possible that he gets fined. Would be kind of crappy for Dre Greenlaw because I don't think he deserved to get ejected even. But sometimes guys don't get ejected and get fined. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got ejected and fined in this situation. Do you think that Sansom Ebukam will play this Monday? That's a good question. I don't know exactly where he's at right now in his recovery. He, tweaked the quad last Monday in the bonus practice. 49ers practice tomorrow in Colorado Springs. So we're going to monitor Sansom Ebukam's status. Based on his status, tomorrow, I think I'll be able to make a prediction as to whether or not he's going to play. The firm prediction is going to come on Friday, though. Second practice of the week. If he's practicing Friday, it's a yes. I could, spoiler alert, right? It's a yes. If he's not practicing on Friday, it's a no. I don't think he's going to play, especially with the return of Jordan Willis. I mean, Willis provided a great bookend to Nick Bosa against the Los Angeles Chargers. So 49ers should not be in a hurry to return anybody. In fact, talking about all the defensive linemen, Kinlaw, Eric Armstead, there's no reason to rush them. 49ers are 8.5-point favorites. If they can't beat the Cardinals without some of these guys, they have bigger problems. As long as you have Nick Bosa, that's the straw that helps stir the drink right there, right? Nick Bosa makes everybody better. I would even look past the week following this one, the 49ers play the Saints the following week. I would look past that for the potential returns of Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw to week 13, the Miami Dolphins. That explosive offense, all right, there, I think you may really, really need your full arsenal of defensive linemen. I mean, let's look at team tiers here. I love doing this. Look at team tiers up on Ben Baldwin's website. This is a good way to kind of frame the entire discussion. So I'm going to open this up. Team tiers. Share this with you on the screen. This is fun. This is how we could see where the 49ers are relative to the rest of the league. All right, it's going to load one more time. I just want it to be a little bit bigger for all of you. Okay, so I'm not going to count week one because the 49ers have changed quarterbacks. I think it's going to be much more representative of who these 49ers are if we take out week one. So weeks 2 to now, let's update. And let's see exactly where this football team is. Okay, here we are. So here are team tiers. Those of you who are new to this, offensive performance is charted along the x-axis. So further to the right means better offense. And then further up along the y-axis means better defense. The goal is to be up here in the top right as far as possible. Tiers then are denoted by the diagonal lines. So tier 1 teams right now by efficiency are the Eagles, the Bengals, and the Chiefs. The Bills, who have slipped a bit here, a couple losses in a row, they have now slipped into tier 2. And look who's in tier 2 with the Bills, right alongside the Cowboys, and also sharing tier 2 with the Dolphins. That is the 49ers. They are a tier 2 team, and they are not far from being a tier 1 team. That's crazy to see. The 49ers look like a true two-way team right now to me too, because you could see the offensive efficiency is about the same as the defensive efficiency. In fact, I would say the offensive efficiency looks further above average than the defensive efficiency does. If the 49ers continue healing on defense and continue delivering play like they did in the second half against both the Rams and the Chargers, They will climb vertically here. If they continue improving offensively, they've been number one DVOA for 3 weeks now. If they solve some of the red zone issues, they'll move to the right here. So hopefully for them, they'll move diagonally up toward where the Eagles are, and they'll become a tier 1 football team. But right now, the closest profile to the 49ers is Dallas. Kind of crazy to see the star and that SF logo right near each other in the same spot. I got to take a screenshot of this, maybe put this up on Twitter here in a second. They have not announced anything with Kyler Murray. I don't think that they will at any point this year. I think they're going to be calling him day to day, and we'll monitor his practice status tomorrow. Grab a meal here in Mexico City, El Cardinal. All right. In honor of Stanford. Just kidding. Do I think that the 2022 49ers have a potential to be better than the 2019 Niners? Yes, absolutely. You know why? Because the 2022 49ers may have a better offense than the 2019 Niners. They have McCaffrey, more developed receiving room, a better pass protecting offensive line. We'll see how well they can run block, right? That's going to be a major key in all of this. But I do think that the ceiling is higher for the 49ers offense. And the defense, to me, I've maintained that the ceiling is higher than the 2019 defense because I think they could be stronger on the back end. Pass rush might be a little bit weaker, but the linebackers are more mature. Fred Warner's a terror now, especially coming in on those blitzes that have changed the outlook of the 49ers season. He's such a better blitzer than he's ever been. Combine that with a better back end, I think this team has the potential to be better than the 2019 team. No, strength of schedule does not go into this graph. And this is why I bring up DVOA. And I mean, we could check out DVOA. Let me open it up because DVOA is defense adjusted value over average, which means that you do get opponent adjustments into it. So this doesn't include opponent adjustments. For this one, we can filter it by week again. And let's take out week 1 again, different quarterback for the 49ers. This is going to be much more representative of what's going on. If we take out week 1, it will filter right here. All right. Since week 1, 49ers total DVOA. They're right here. Do you guys have this up on your screen? Oh, no, you don't. Let me erase this here. Let me take off a couple of the banners. They're in the way. This is on Football Outsiders. 49ers since week 1. This is opponent adjusted. Our number 8 total DVOA. Look to see where they are on offense. Number 9 offense. Number 3 pass offense. Ooh, number 20 rush offense. Number 8 defense. So they're 9 offense, 8 defense. And the defense is subdivided into 11 pass defense and 7 running defense with number 26 special teams. Okay, so we see where the 49ers have to be better, at least if we're measuring since week 2. And the run offense is their weakness, number 20, which is opposite of what a lot of television commentators say because they're used to what the 49ers used to be, and that's a better run offense than pass offense. But as you can see, number 3 pass, number 20 rush. Now, let's subdivide this since Christian McCaffrey showed up. Let's take out weeks. Yeah, here we go. 8, 9, 10, and 11. We'll go these 3 weeks. Let's take out all the weeks without Christian McCaffrey and see if the 49ers have started to take strides toward where they need to be. Oh my God, here we go. Since the 49ers acquired McCaffrey, they are the number 1 total DVOA team in all football. They rank number 5 in total offense. Number 2 in pass offense, number 10 in rush offense. You see they improved from number 20 to number 10. Number 5 in total defense, number 10 in pass defense, and number 5 in run defense. And their special teams has been better. Number 13. The special teams is doing what I've always said the special teams need to do, keep it afloat. So I get it. It's a small sample. But the 49ers over the past 3 games have achieved two-way dominance in the DVOA department. I understand that they need to be better in the red zone. In fact, I wrote an entire piece about the 49ers needing to be better in the red zone, but that is the one disconnect that remains for the 49ers to conquer. If they can be better in the red zone, as is illustrated right here, can the 49ers solve the red zone puzzle? They will connect the dots between number one DVOA and potentially the number one or a top three scoring offense. Right now, the 49ers are averaging 25.3 points per game over the course of their past three. That would rank number 6 in the NFL. They want to get it up to 30. My goal for the 49ers, if I had to prescribe a goal, would be 30 points per game. Get up to 30 points per game. That's one more positive red zone possession per game, touchdown instead of a field goal. Keep on playing the kind of defense you're playing right now. Don't let special teams screw it up. Boom. 49ers should be even Super Bowl favorites at that point, or really close to it. So that is the formula for the 49ers moving forward. All right, subscribe to the channel. Let's take a look at some more questions here. This is it right here. Had the 49ers executed in the red zone, the national media would be gushing over them. Kenny Hamilton almost prefers to be a bit under the radar. Exactly. And that's how fickle the national media is. That's how fickle social media is. One play goes different. Brandon Ayuk catches a ball that he normally catches instead of drops it. Everybody's talking about how great the 49ers offense was, right? You go from 22 to 26 points, and it probably unlocks a deluge of other points a little bit later on. They probably go over 30. It's crazy how it's such a game of inches. One thing goes against you, and then you only score 22, and then everybody freaks out when it's not that big of a fix. For the 49ers, they do need to fix their in between the 20s game. I think they need to be better on first and second down. I think they need to pass more, be a little bit less conservative as far as the run pass balance, but they still made up for it with great third down passing in this game. It was, ground zero of the issues was the 49ers red zone offense. They need to execute better in the red zone. Odell Beckham on the 49ers radar. He's on their radar. I don't know if they're going to be able to sign him. I mean, there's a really good chance that Odell Beckham Jr. goes to the highest bidder. And I don't know if the 49ers are willing to outbid a team like the Dallas Cowboys, who coincidentally are in a very similar spot to them on the team tier chart that I just put up there. Same question here. I do think this roster's built better than 2019 because there's better pass protection and a better secondary than 2019. And, this is true. And I think Odell probably is going to be trying to sign around the start of December. Who knows? Somebody on the 49ers can get hurt. You can knock on wood. Let me find some wood right there. You can knock on wood, hope it doesn't happen. But health situations around the league are probably going to change between now and when Odell Beckham Jr. does sign. So looking too far into the future doesn't make all that much sense just because it's going to be a moving target. Odell Beckham Jr. wants to get in better shape before he goes and works out for teams, hence the current delay. This is kind of a funny name. The Fraudinals. What are the Fraudinals good at on defense? the Fraudinals on defense, I appreciate the creativity, are good along the defensive line. Zach Allen can get after the passer. Good big defensive end, might be able to give the 49ers some trouble at those tackle positions, maybe working against the guards. We'll see where exactly Zach Allen works. Obviously, they have J.J. Watt, Isaiah Simmons at the linebacker position, Budda Baker at the safety position. The Cardinals haven't been good on defense. I mean, they rank in the 20s. Mike sent me a text. Let me open this up today. That was relatively staggering, and it did not put the Cardinals in a good light. Let's read this one from Mike. Gonna have to scroll up a little bit in it, but we got it here in a second. Where is it? The Arizona Cardinals defensive lowlights. Arizona's defense, second most points allowed, second most first downs allowed, second most passing completions allowed, most yards after the catch allowed, most red zone touchdowns given up, most drives that end in the red zone. Wow. Arizona's defense not performing well. No wonder Budda Baker's throwing a fit in the locker room after these games. Thanks, Mike. Mike always bringing the goods with some of those stats. I was going to delve a little bit further into those in my game preview this week. So stay tuned for a bit more of that. Yep, the game is going to be Central Time, 7:15 Central Time, 5:15 Pacific Time. Somebody going on Spotify a little bit later tonight? Or are you guys just joking with each other? Probably just messing around. You would think the 49ers would score on the Cardinals. Here's the thing, the NFL is about execution, and the NFL is a week-by-week league. We use these statistics to give us predictions about matchups and trends, but you never know what's going to happen on any given Sunday, or in this case, any given Monday. But yes, the chances that the 49ers have a good offensive game are higher in this one than, say, if they're playing a team like the Bills or the Eagles, or a team, or themselves, a team with a really good defense. Yes, a lot of people have been voicing concerns about Debo not being as productive. I would just wait. Let's see how this whole offense finds its rhythm. I mean, Kyle Shanahan needs to find his rhythm play calling wise, as far as when is he going to incorporate Debo Samuel. I talk about the issues on first and second down. I think that's a great time to throw a few screens at Debo Samuel. Don't wait until 3rd and 20. Because then whatever Debo does, it's probably not going to be good enough, because you can't expect an 89-yard catch and run like you did in Chicago last year on every single touch. 49ers need to not settle for field goals after reaching the red zone. Yes, that is the big key. That is what I wrote about right there. Do I think the 49ers will score more than 30 versus the Cardinals? I'll just go ahead and give you a spoiler to my prediction a little early. Yes, I think they score 34 this week. That's my prediction. We put it up on the podcast. Make sure you check out the Here's the Catch podcast on The Athletic. Matt Barrows and I had fun with that one. No Dennis Brown this week, but me and Matt Barrows. I think Shanahan is always playing a long game. I don't think that you can hold too much stuff back in the case that a game is close, but I think that you're constantly setting plays up down the road. So it probably wouldn't even be smart to call some of the plays that Shanahan will use later on, potentially in the playoffs now, because he hasn't put enough on tape to set it up. So it is a game of chess, not checkers. Buy some nice tequila when I'm down there. It doesn't get any better than from the source, Reposado. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad that you're going to Mexico as well, Jose. That's going to be fun. Oh my God, Mike is saying 35-17. Mine was like 34-17 or 34-21. I can't decide yet. You will find out during the prediction that airs later this week before the game. I mean, yeah, and it was close to being a blowout. I think if the 49ers would have executed in the red zone. Again, the margins in NFL are not big. So you can call a blowout and then they end up winning by 6, but it would have been a blowout if Brandon Ayuk caught that pass, right? Then you win by 10. That's a 2-score game in the NFL. To me, that's as, close to a blowout as you're going to get sometimes in the National Football League on any given night. So it's important to just keep stuff in perspective there. 49ers were really close to winning that game against the Chargers by more, and they also were close to losing when the Chargers blew a couple plays. But that's part of it, right? You're going to blow some plays. Brandon Ayuk's going to drop a touchdown. The Chargers are going to drop a would-be touchdown. And it is the aggregate total of plays made versus plays not made that ends up, in most cases, determining the final score. And that's why the 49ers came out on top. Yeah, and the Niners had a blocked punt in that game as well. They didn't block it. They had it blocked. I mean, that's not the only trick play that the 49ers can run. They really needed it at the time against the Rams. That wasn't a spot where the 49ers could be holding back. They're down 7-0 against the Rams. Catch him by surprise, throw that play. He could run more trick plays in the future. Also, whenever McCaffrey catches a swing pass now, defenses are going to think twice before they bite down on it. So, I mean, that trick play can yield yards and points for the 49ers moving forward in the future. It's not like they just blew it with one usage. Kyle Shanahan's going to build stuff around that. Don't you worry moving forward. But the main thing to remember is that at the time, the 49ers definitely needed that touchdown. That was really needed at the time. Turn that game around. They're down 7-0. JT Conlon thinks it's going to be 42-27. That's going to be crazy. 40, and then the national media would be all over the 49ers offense at that point. A predicted record for the 49ers. So William thinks the 49ers are only going to lose one more game from here on out because they've already lost 4. They're 5-4. Who do you think they're going to lose to? That's the question. I mean, they got a lot of tough ones. So we go back to this team tier chart right now. Here we go. Team tier opening up. Take a look at this. They've already played the Chiefs. That didn't go well, but they play a team that's near the Chiefs here in the Dolphins, who have got a great offense. So that's going to be the best team that's still remaining on the schedule for the 49ers. Tampa Bay, they might climb before they play the 49ers after the Dolphins do, but Tampa Bay, I think, threatens to become a two-way team. They have Brady. They got some pieces on defense. The Seahawks are a tier below the 49ers. Defense is rising. Offense has been good. We'll see if Seattle looks all too different than they did in week 2. The results against other teams suggest they will. They'll also be at home. But that just kind of gives you the lay of the land of where the 49ers are right now. All right, guys, I'm tired. And we've gone through a lot of questions. Over 30 minutes. Good stuff tonight. Thanks for bringing the heat with the questions. And yes, Zach Allen can get after the passer. Arizona does have some weapons. That's been our 49ers Cardinals first look. Thank you for the questions. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday night. And it's been a pleasure having you all aboard. Everybody take care. Bye now.